So it looks like the Batman is just a little too dark and a little too grim for some critics today because we live in a time of war, and a movie like the Batman has no place in theaters today. Hey everybody, I am Robert Storms. Welcome back to the channel once again. If you guys want to help support the channel, best way to do so is smash that thumbs up and subscribe button. That way you guys can stay up to date on all future content here on the channel. So right now over on Rotten Tomatoes, the Batman is still at an 87% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. I am super looking forward to this movie. I love Matt Reeves as a director. Robert Pattinson gets too much flack for Twilight. He's a fantastic actor, and I have faith in this movie. It did drop down a little bit from yesterday, but that's not the story, guys. That's not the story. No. That is not the story. The story today is that this movie is just too grim, too dark, and it just doesn't have a place in today's world because we are surrounded by war. We have Russia invading Ukraine. We have all kinds of stuff. Like we have war right on the brink of our footsteps. We do not need to go to the theater and feel miserable and sad and depressed. And at least that's what at least one critic says. That is one critic saying that this movie is just too depressing, too grim, and we do not need it when people are dying over in Ukraine. This movie is not needed. Well, let's go to that critic, guys. So this was actually posted on Rotten Tomatoes. The critic, Maura McDonald, she said, depressing, dark, and endless. She gave this movie a negative rating. She failed this movie. She didn't judge it on a movie. Like, she didn't judge it on the acting, cinematography, you know, things that most people actually judge a movie on. This is on Rotten Tomatoes. D-Day Cobra from Geeks and Gamers retweeted this on his Twitter. And I'm looking at it. And this is the top critic, guys. Depressing, dark, and endless. I don't know about you, but this particular time in history does not seem like the moment to have this movie. I don't know about you guys. People are dying over there. Okay, so here's my thoughts on this. Here are my thoughts on this. And if you want to see her whole full article, you go on Rotten Tomatoes. You can go on there, look for her. This is her actual full review. She gives it 2 stars out of 4. She fails the movie. She fails the movie because it's too grim. And it doesn't feel like we need this in the era that we live in right now with Russia invading and all that stuff. You know, here's my thoughts on this. First of all, I just want to come out and say my prayers are with the people of Ukraine. Like, I don't even follow politics. I don't follow the news. Like, the real world is scary, you know? The real world is fucking scary. Isn't that right, Jimmy? You're damn right, Jimmy. It's scary as hell. And I don't like to watch the news and hear about people dying all the time. I watch movies and play video games to escape that shit. You know what I mean? But the Russia thing I have been following. And I don't know why. It's like, it just, you know, caught my eye. I'm like, oh, I really want to see what's going on because this is some serious shit. And my thoughts and prayers are out there with the people of Ukraine. And I hope everything gets settled. And I hope everybody can go back to a state of peace. But there's always people dying. There's always war. That is the nature of mankind, okay? That has always been human nature. So to sit there and fail a movie because it's dark and depressing and endless, and in this particular time in history, well, what about when Christopher Nolan's movie came out? You know, what about the Dark Knight trilogy? Those were definitely dark and gloomy. You're going to tell me that the Dark Knight wasn't dark and gloomy? We were battling Afghanistan and Iran and all that stuff back then. You know, there's always war. There's always death. But the movie is the movie, and we go there to escape, to listen to what the actors and the directors and the scriptwriters are trying to tell us, lady. You know? Yes, this movie is probably really dark and really gritty. But if you haven't seen a Matt Reeves film, mostly they're all dark and gritty. The 2 Planet of the Apes movies, Dawn and War of the Planet of the Apes, were very, very depressing and gritty movies. Like there wasn't a whole lot of happiness there, you know? You had one ape that's trying to start a war with the humans. The humans want to wipe out the ape. Like there's nothing to say, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Ain't that right, Jimmy? So when you did you go into a Matt Reeves Batman movie expecting to see like Iron Man? Were you expecting to see Guardians of the Galaxy with them cracking jokes with rainbows, talking about butts and all that stuff? Like, what were you actually expecting to see? Huh? Huh, Miss McDonald? What were you expecting to see in a Batman movie directed by Matt Reeves? Like the trailers didn't lie to you. Look at the trailers. The trailers is dark, it's gritty, it's gloomy. It's not sunshine, it's not rainbows. You know, it's not glitter. You know, what were you expecting to see in this movie? Can anybody tell me? Anybody, tell me what the hell were you expecting to see in this movie? It's Batman. Batman by nature is dark and gritty. He's been dark and gritty in the comic books. Every iteration except for the George Clooney movie and Adam West. I mean, it's been dark and gritty except for those. You know, even when they poke fun out of it, for the most part, it's dark and gritty. And people like this is why WB course corrected after Batman v Superman. Because everybody said Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are just too dark and gritty. And then what happened, guys? What happened? You know what history showed us? We got the Justice League. That's right. Because people like this, who shouldn't be reviewing movies, don't know when to keep their real life politics and shit out of things. They don't know when to separate. This is a movie. This is real life. Look, if you can't handle going to see a movie like this, maybe you shouldn't go see a movie like this and ask someone else in your circuit to review the Batman. Because what were you expecting? The dude saw his parents murdered in front of him. He grew up to be a vigilante. Like what did you think you were going to see? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous. Her review is ridiculous, and it's just insane. Again, my thoughts and prayers go out to Ukraine. I really am worried about you guys over there. I've been watching the news. You guys are standing strong, and hopefully you guys can get this thing settled really soon. And my thoughts and prayers are definitely out there with you guys, and hopefully you guys get back to normal or some sort of normal here soon. But yeah, dark times for sure. But there's a time and place when you need to look at a movie and say, this is just a movie and this doesn't represent what I'm seeing on screen. And listen to what the storytellers are trying to tell you without judging outside politics. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on it. Before you guys go, I've started a new YouTube channel, Storms Gaming, over on YouTube. If you guys can jump over there and subscribe to the channel, I will have the link in the description box below, as well as a pinned comment. I do video game reviews and movies news, or video game reviews and news, just like I do here on this channel. And right now I'm doing an Elden Ring Let's Play. So if you guys can check that out, I would appreciate it. And until next time, guys, please be sure to click that like and subscribe button. And as always, I am Robert Storms, and that is my opinion. Later, guys.